The first time you rush a room in GoldenEye, the game punishes your impatience. Enemies strike without mercy. Sloppiness costs you the objective. Panicking comes with a price. GoldenEye wasn't testing how well you could shoot, it was testing whether you could slow down. From silenced pistols to clever gadgets, each weapon is carefully designed to reinforce your identity as a secret agent. And when Bond is stripped of everything, the game still rewards restraint. The karate chop, especially effective in archives, allows for silent takedowns even when unarmed, reinforcing that precision, not firepower, is always the foundation of a 00 agent's approach. The PP7 is more than a pistol. It's Bond's signature tool for subtle, precise action. Take out a guard silently, then retreat to the previous room and establish a choke point. Any narrow doorway, hallway, stairwell, or corner where enemies are forced to approach you one at a time. As a trained 00 agent, you control these tight spaces, limiting chaos, minimizing exposure, and keeping the mission on your terms. The sniper rifle in Dam and Surface 1 lets you isolate and neutralize threats from a distance, thinning enemy ranks without triggering alarms or escalating the situation. High damage weapons like the KF-7 Soviet give you answers for combat-heavy scenarios. They let you suppress multiple guards when situations spiral out of control. Rapid-fire options like the RCP-90 pin down hostile forces when subtlety is no longer an option, especially in the closing moments of Jungle, where enemies are entrenched behind cover and the mission demands controlled aggression rather than stealth. The grenade launcher offers a more tactical form of chaos. Found in Surface 1, Jungle, and Streets, its arcing, bouncing shots let you hit enemies hiding behind cover, firing over walls, barriers, and obstacles where straight line gunfire fails. For heavier threats, GoldenEye gives you blunt instruments. The rocket launcher, used in missions like Depot, is loud but devastating, designed to eliminate armored targets quickly rather than quietly. Proximity mines complement this approach by letting you set traps, control enemy movement, and punish reinforcements before they reach you. Some missions abandon subtlety entirely. The tank in Runway and Streets is overwhelming by design, loud, destructive, and meant to bulldoze resistance rather than finesse it. Close quarters encounters demand specialization. The automatic shotgun, used in Statue and Caverns, excels against Janus Special Forces, where tight corridors and ambush-heavy layouts favor raw stopping power. Of course, tools alone don't make a spy. What makes GoldenEye special is how the game reacts to Bond's arsenal, through enemy awareness, positioning, and behavior that constantly tests how carefully you play. Guards don't stand still waiting to be eliminated. They listen, they react, they investigate. Unsilenced gunfire doesn't just drop a target, it announces your presence. The moment enemies become aware, the entire level shifts. Pressure builds, numbers increase, mistakes ripple outward. Once alerted, guards don't rush blindly. They advance when they sense weakness, pull back when they don't, and punish exposed players fast. This forces deliberate movement. Corners matter. Doorways matter. Retreating isn't failure, it's control. That's why silenced weapons like the PP7 are so powerful. Quiet takedowns keep encounters contained, while loud ones destabilize everything. Rush through a mission and GoldenEye pushes back. Alarms escalate the situation. Reinforcements spawn. Patrol routes tighten. Safe paths disappear. What begins as infiltration becomes a pressure cooker. The game rewards efficient engagements, short fights, clean exits, controlled retreats. Playing like Bond isn't slower, it's smarter. GoldenEye 007 doesn't make you feel like Bond because you're unstoppable. It makes you feel like Bond because the game demands restraint, awareness, and control. GoldenEye doesn't just increase difficulty, it reshapes how you think about each level. On Agent, the game teaches. Objectives are simple, enemy placement is readable, routes are forgiving. You're learning the layout, spotting guard positions, and understanding how sound, alarms, and awareness ripple through a level. It's reconnaissance, a chance to study the space without severe consequence. On Secret Agent, GoldenEye assumes you've been paying attention. New objectives push you off the main path, through tighter corridors and riskier routes. Enemy intelligence ramps up. Mistakes escalate quickly, alerting more guards and closing off escape options. The level feels more alive, more alert, because it expects you to understand it. On Double O Agent, the margin for error disappears. Guards react faster, pressure mounts, and multiple intricate objectives demand precise timing and positioning. Every decision matters. What's clever is that the geometry never changes. The same hallways, stairwells, and rooms are reused, but the expectations shift. Agent shows you the level. Secret Agent challenges your understanding of it. Double O Agent punishes you for every mistake. This is why GoldenEye's difficulty never feels artificial. Enemies don't become bullet sponges. Levels don't get longer. Instead, the game tightens the screws on awareness, positioning, and decision making. Cunning over quickness, just like 007. GoldenEye doesn't ask if you can shoot your way through a mission. It asks whether you truly understand the space you're in, and whether you can stay in control when every hallway, staircase, and room becomes a test of wit, patience, and precision. GoldenEye trusts you to slow down, to read a room, to recognize when aggression would get you killed and restraint would carry you through. Every mechanic feeds into that trust. The weapons demand intent. The enemies react like they're fighting to survive. The levels punish carelessness but reward understanding. When you fail, it rarely feels cheap. It feels earned. GoldenEye 007 remains the gold standard for spy action because it teaches the player that restraint, awareness, and control are what truly define a successful mission, and what it means to be Bond. And that same kind of mastery is what made so many classic games unforgettable. If that kind of challenge still hooks you, check out my breakdown on why these Mario 64 stars are still brutal today.